Welcome, welcome, welcome back to the Love Inspired Leadership Podcast. I am so grateful that you've made the decision to be here. And today, I want to let you know that this human being that I am honored to connect with and travel with during this podcast interview will have beautiful, magnificent insights and wisdom for you on your journey to find your way back to your heart, to find that place to go from striving to surrender, from the stress of success to unconditional love. And I know that this conversation will be incredibly meaningful to me. We just had a short chat before we came on here, and I feel like it's a gift to me, this interview. So I'm honored to introduce you to Vishrant. Did I say that right?
Vishrant, yes.
Vishrant.
It does. Sanskrit word that means restful or relax.
Beautiful. And he is a contemporary mystic and enlightened teacher and the founder of the Vishrant Buddhist Society. You know, his life reads like a mystic journey from early material success to a near-death awakening, from ambition to barefoot surrender, from striving to a state of beingness rooted in unconditional love. That just sounds so great. So throughout his direct experience, rather than just simply belief, he guides seekers out of suffering and back into the simplicity of presence, which is everything to me too. So if you ever felt that success alone just could not satisfy your soul, or that peace that really truly must be found beyond the effort, this conversation may feel like you're coming home and to remembering the truth of what matters is that love is all there is. So let's just dive in, shall we? So you have lived this extraordinary success at a very young age. Can you take us back to the moment when that path began to unravel and something deeper called you forward?
The story is a little bit odd because I was 19 years old and I was basically managing a street gang in Perth City. Now, I was a bikie. And my girlfriend had decided that she wanted to do some kind of encounter group with these guys. And she'd given them, and this is back in 1970, something or other, and she'd given them 400 Australian dollars. And at the time, that was a lot of money because the basic wage wasn't even $100 a week. And so I felt that she'd been ripped off. And so I went to find these guys, and they were all dressed in three-piece suits, and they were all in one place. And I fronted them with every intention of beating the money out of them. And I asked them for the money back, and they said, no, you can't have it back. And I said, but I want it back. Give it back. And they said, why don't you do the group? Why don't you do the course, the 4-day live-in encounter group? And I said, no, I don't want to do that. I just want the money back. And then they said something that got me, because in my own mind, as a street thug, I was a hero. And they said, what are you frightened of? And that got me. I'm frightened of nothing. They said, well, what could you do the group? And I said, being 19 and naive, I said, yeah, I'll do the group. And that was the beginning of the end, because these guys had me fill in a psychological report before the group began, and then they used all of that psychological evidence to take me apart.
Yes. To unravel you.
They unraveled me. I go into this room, there's about 25 people in it, they're in a horseshoe. You sit down, you filled out the forms, all of a sudden the lights go out, and then a spotlight comes on, and it comes on me. And the words, they're swear words. You bastard, get out here. As a matter of fact, it was worse than that. Anyway, and I went out the front, and they worked on me for 12 hours trying to break me down. And eventually, after 12 hours, this little old lady who was a part of the group stood next to me and said, you know, when I feel into you, all I feel is a rock. There's no heart there. There's no love there. You're just like a rock. And for some reason, this broke me open.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Love it. And
I swapped my studded belt and my black uniform for a 3-piece suit and went and worked for this organization promoting their courses, because I was so taken with the change that had happened in me.
The transformation that you went through, you wanted for other people.
I did. I transferred from a street thug to actually someone who actually had meaning in lives. And it was beautiful. This was the beginning of a whole nother life as a result of intervention.
That is so beautiful and so potent, powerful, and transformational. And I could repeat the same story in my own life. You have to know that. I was also in a room. I went through the same process as you did in Canada. And I will forever be grateful, because my life was never the same and never has been since. And I think it takes a certain level of, gracious gratitude when you know that you've been broken open and unraveled. So your purpose and passion became that, correct?
Not quite. I was a bit thick. I went on to start a publishing company, and it was a super successful publishing company. I retired when I was 28 years old. What
kind of books?
There were periodicals like the suburban newspapers and the local football club magazines and the Fire Brigade magazines. It was all run through advertising. Yes. And I had a huge staff, and I loved what I did, but I managed to replace myself from day one. And so by the time I was 28, I could retire and just leave the whole thing run by itself. But at the age of 33, another intervention happened. I got lost at sea in a runabout, and a cyclone came in. And I realized that we were going to die, because we were 60 miles off the coast in a runabout, and this cyclone had come in. The boat had hit something in the water and was sinking, and we were being circled by sharks.
So it doesn't get any more dramatic than that in the message.
It was very dramatic, very dramatic. At some point, I looked across, because the boat was underwater to some degree, and I looked across at my partner, and she was in the water, floating in a life jacket, and something entered me. It was like overwhelming love appeared, and it was because of the regret that I felt that she was going to lose her life because I'd taken her out into the ocean. I hadn't checked the weather. There was a cyclone coming, and it was my fault. And this overwhelming love, I'd never felt anything like it in my life. It changed my life completely. Within, I think, something like 9 months of that event, I'd walked into my companies, given my companies to my staff completely, and walked out broke, take my shoes off, and started walking around Australia for 4 years to find my heart, because I realized my heart was more important than any wealth that I'd ever accumulated or had the potential of making. Everything for love and nothing for me was the deal.
Say that again one more time.
Everything for love and nothing for me is the only deal. See, when you give everything to love, you find a way of being in the world where it's beautiful. In my case, I found a way to take care of other human beings. I went back to school and trained as a naturopath and psychotherapist so I could help people. And it was my way of loving people because I was in love with life. I was in love with people. I'd found love. And I'd given away basically $1 million company, but I didn't want to sell it because my staff may have actually been fired or messed around. So I gave it to them. I just walked in and gave it to them. And I've never had a regret in any day that I did that.
No.
It was the best move I ever made. And so you asked about what started this.
Yeah.
Massive intervention.
And it was massive intervention from an individual or two or a group. It was also massive intervention into surrendering to this position of love when you were in the water. And, what I want the audience to grasp at this moment and to absorb and let penetrate inside of them is that each of us have this opportunity to feel this massive, incredible love in moments. You were ready for it and you were open to it because of the love you also felt for this woman too.
That's it. It took me a while to work out.
Opened up to receive that. And
well, that's the thing. It's openness that makes the difference. It's in openness that you can feel love. In closed, you cut yourself off from the perception of love. And I was too closed before. As a businessman, I had too much armor on.
Yeah, too busy, too forcing, too pushing, too making things happen, into being too busy, too much strategy, too much, and I believe that love is all there is too. I'm with you, Vishrant. That's it. And everything else is a distraction. So when I can be in alignment with the truth of that is when my life flows beautifully, like this interview right now. If you would have had the conversations I had today, this is like a beautiful mirror of all of it. And I am so grateful for this conversation right now. I am so feeling this appreciation for this level of truth from someone else, because it is a surrender to this. And the gifts and the graciousness of this space is so infinitely abundant and beyond what the audience's imagination can even tap into. That's been my experience. So, and I know it's been yours too, right?
Yep. It's the only way to live. The way of the heart is the only way to live. It's the most beautiful way in the world to live.
And it's so much lighter, so much simpler, has so much more ease and grace to the flow of the current of what life is. Oh, I love this. I love my podcast. I do. This is where I get to have these conversations. And the world needs to hear this truth. You know, this is
I agree with that.
Place.
Absolutely.
So let's look at another concept about alignment and intention. So the theme of this segment, I'd love to focus on this concept of enlightenment without escapism. You know, you often speak about this enlightenment without, this incense of practical, grounded, and that is available to us now, right? So what does awakening look like when stripped of the spiritual performance? Oof, that's a good question.
Okay, so the best way I can describe it is there's an absence of Vishrant. And there's been an absence of Vishrant now for 27 years. And there's an experience of knowing self rather than as Vishrant, the I, as the universe. And every particle in it being love. And that's a reasonably major, what they call satori, but that's my everyday experience. And I try to help people come into that space every day, because I do this every day. And I'm getting people listening now, and it's really great, because I think the world is lacking love. I think the world needs love to actually change. And love in itself is higher consciousness. And higher consciousness, as far as I can see, is the only thing that's going to save this planet. Because it's locked in lower consciousness. It's locked in selfishness and greed. And so I'm trying to help people find their hearts so they can rise above that and live a different life, a life of beauty. And I don't like the word spirituality. I like the word reality. The word reality. To me, love is real. It's not some spiritual idea. It's real. And all you've got to do is be open enough to perceive it. Yes. But most of us closed up when we went to school to a large degree. Because of teasing or bullies or whatever, or having to get it right all the time, being picked on, whatever. And all of those closures are in the way of the perception of love. Mm-hmm. And so we really perceive love best when we're wide open, when there's no defenses in the way.
Agreed.
No obstacles in the way.
Agreed.
And so my life is teaching people how to remove obstacles that are in their way.
It's that simple.
It's not complex. No, it's difficult, though, because people run true to their default programming of closure. That's right. Even in Canada.
Everywhere. What I love that you said is that, and this is the experience I've been feeling so grateful for, is falling in love with your life, all of it, the good, the bad, the indifferent, the obstacles, the situation, and becoming this observer and witness. So it's got this beautiful connection to what love is. And I had this incredible mentor when I was in my teens. Her name was Emma. She gave me this key. It's everything that I stand for. She taught me to think above the line, which is love. And it's a decision. And I feel that I'm now in my 67th year of being on the planet. And I feel that my life has been guiding, showing me, teaching me how to be in this presence of love consistently. I call it thinking, loving, and leading above the line. And that is where you function from. That is your light that is shining, that people are attracted to. Because I agree with you. We have a responsibility to live this way with an open heart, with a presence of love, because that's the only thing that is real.
I agree. Unfortunately, when you turn the news on, you see all the ugliness of the world. And the only thing that I think that can change that is love.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think there's another way.
No, this is the only way. And I was in corporate for many years, keynote speaker, big conferences, very successful in my consulting practice when I was younger in sales too, very successful. And I never talked about love. I didn't give myself permission. I called it building relationships. I called it customer service. I called it serving from your highest self. I didn't call it love until I started this podcast. So to me, this is the place and the space for these conversations of truth to be told. And my dream, intention, and vision is for the audience to connect with you, to connect with me, to find some of the answers that they have been looking for. And you and I hold this same space of grace that love is all there is and is the answer to every issue, problem, and anything that, because it's being decided, and it's a conditioning. It's like you said, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not a switch, because we've grown up with all this programming and this conditioning. Yet when you have a taste of this, is what I want the audience to realize. When you have a taste of this, you fall and into this place of being it, rather than trying hard to make it happen, push it like I used to do in business. I was like a machine, and I got exhausted.
Yeah.
And
you're often resistance.
Exactly.
Resistance is the wrong way.
Yes. Let's talk about that. Because my goodness, the suffering that's going on in this world is connected to resistance. Let's go there.
So pain is pain, and everyone experiences it, but suffering is caused by resistance. So when we resist discomfort, that's when we suffer. Resistance is the problem. When we resist, we cut ourselves off from love. We find love in openness. Always. But we're not taught that at school. We're taught how to resist to get somewhere. And so we've all been programmed the wrong way. We have never been programmed for love. We've never been programmed for happiness. We've never been programmed for anything other than to be efficient little machines that can actually hold down a job. And it's such a shame, because this is how we were all programmed. But there is a way to change it. You actually have to have a look inside and find that openness, find that love in openness. And then you just want to take care of people, because that's how love affects your mind. Or you might want to take care of animals, or you want to take care of forests or trees or oceans. But when love affects the mind, you just want to take care. That's how it affects the mind. Wouldn't it be beautiful if everyone on the planet was in touch with love and wanting to take care, particularly our politicians?
Well, yes, and yes. And here I want to throw in another piece as a mature woman, and that is I gave myself away pretty well most of my love to other people in giving. I was such a giver. I always have been. And it's only in the last 5 to 7 years that I've realized the incredible opportunity of honoring myself in falling in love with nature's nourishment, in falling in love with my 5-kilometer jaunts that I call it in the morning. It's not a jog because it's too fast. It's not a walk. I call it a jaunt. It's in between. So love is the only answer to our mental health, our physical health, and our spiritual position to understand what the truth is. I mean, a lot of people look outside of themselves so much when it's a go within to win experience here. It's looking deep down into the mirror and allowing those feelings to move through us. And it can be emotional. It doesn't have to last for long.
When you start opening up, it can get very emotional. It's true, because we hold so much stuff down.
That's the resistance too, isn't it?
Well, it's just we don't want to feel stuff, so we repress it. And unfortunately, when you start opening up, it starts coming up.
And what I love, this is what I lived by when I heard it too, is that with emotions, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not claiming to be. All I am is a woman on a mission to bring love back to life. I mean, that's my mission here, of love-inspired leadership. So this is what I heard and have taken in as my own truth, is that emotion has a certain time frame. It can move through my body when I allow it, when I surrender to the emotion to move through within 90 seconds. So sometimes I just sit with myself and journal and allow myself to deeply, purposefully, passionately grieve. And it's moved through and I move on to the next. So the old Carolyn, the old identity of Carolyn would hold on to that for an hour, a week, a month, and sometimes years. And I think it takes a lot of courage to feel our way through. And that's where love is on the other side of that. If the gift is love, there's no greater gift in the world to experience than that. And what I love is this acceptance of that. And then I'm a better mother to my 2 amazing human beings that I brought into this world. You know, I'm a better leader within my aim high sanctuary of women. I show up in a way that has presence, like you talk about. And it's easy because I'm just simply being me. Right. So where do you next? Where do you want to go next?
Open you. You see, you can be a closed you or you can be an open you. Yes. We find love in openness, not closed you. This is one of the problems with business. Business tends to close people up. And really, if we want to find love, we've got to find a way to be brave enough to be open in the marketplace.
Yes, and be truthful in the marketplace. And, you know, there's so much noise out there. There's so much illusion. There's so much non-truths to how businesses are showing up. in the world. And
we were programmed badly. All of us were programmed badly. We weren't programmed for love at school. It's simple.
Yeah. So how do you, this is a great question. I love this question. How do you help people unwind this pattern without losing their drive and their vitality?
I tell them the truth. You see, there's so much bulldust in the world. And I get rid of all spiritual nonsense. I just tell the truth. It has to be my own direct experience, or as far as I'm concerned, it's not real. I don't borrow anything from anyone else. I just use my own direct experience. And then what I'm talking about is real. And so I've been on this amazing adventure as a human being for 72 years now. So I beat you.
You did so. Yeah, you know what? I mean, I feel younger now, honest to God. And I feel more beautiful and sexier, to be honest, in my life. Shouldn't be saying this in my podcast, but I am anywho, because it doesn't matter. It's my podcast. Than I did when I was 45. Because of this understanding of what love is, what love does, and what love represents. And my mission is to honor this position that I've been graced to understand and be this beam of beautiful light to the world, same as you. You know, I think there's lots of us, Vishrant, out there that are coming together right now to support the people in the world, to have this information, to go down those pathways of curiosity and wonder and step into this position.
Yep. I agree. Well, my job, in fact, is to help people become lights so others may see.
Yeah. And to beam that light, to light other people's path too, as well as their own. So here's the next question. What are some compassionate, practical ways that people can begin to come back home to this place of peace?
Okay. I say hello to everybody I meet, because there's so many lonely people on the streets. If I go to a coffee shop, I say hello to everybody. Because there's so many lonely people out there. It makes someone's day when you say hello to them. No one else is speaking to them. This is just such a simple thing, but it's so not common. People keep to themselves because they're terrified. Just say hello to people. Let them feel good about themselves because someone has said hello to them. If I pass a policeman on the street, I'll thank him for his service because nobody else does that. You know, and these guys risk their lives to protect us every day. These are just little things that people can do, very small things. Hold the door open for someone at a restaurant instead of barging in. You know, little things.
Well, it's little acts of love is what it is.
Little acts of kindness.
In the moment, and thoughtfulness and kindness and in the moment. So
little acts of generosity.
Yes.
Giving of yourself. It doesn't cost you very much to say hello to someone.
No.
But it might mean the world to them.
And it might just change their perspective. Yeah. I go on my jaunts every day, and there's this one little Asian woman, 4 foot nothing, that has a beautiful fur mauve colored tan and a beautiful wool jacket. It was -10 yesterday. And here she is shuffling along. She's going to be in her 80s, at least late 80s, probably, shuffling along. Every day, she said, good morning, have a good day to everybody she walks by. Every single person. So what I do is I surprise her. So sometimes I come up behind her and I go, good morning, have a good day. So now we're in a relationship on high fives now. She sees me coming down the path. If I'm coming towards her, she starts laughing her head off. And she's like, oh, good morning, you beat me. Because I'd beat her to it. Good morning, have a wonderful day. But I love her. She makes my day. Every time I see her, I think, oh, good. There she is. I don't know her name.
Isn't that hard?
I know. That's exactly right. So let's explore the deeper legacy of this way of living, because I think this is my philosophy, that it's each of our responsibility and opportunity to live as a love-inspired leader. So just looking at this theme as love as the only currency, okay? So that's where we are. And how has your understanding of masculinity evolved from domination and control to service, responsibility, and respect without losing strength or edge?
When I was 16 years old, my mother gave me Germaine Greer's book on feminism, and I read it. And I was in a Roman Catholic boarding school for boys. I did not know that women had been treated so badly for so many thousands of years. And so I've been a feminist ever since.
Beautiful. And
the people that ran my companies were not men. I only hired women in management positions.
Good. That's good.
Because I believe that women are equal to men. They're more loyal than men, and they work hard.
They do work hard.
Good people.
And they are good people, and they have an extraordinary sense of attention to detail when it comes to the work that they do.
Yep.
The amount of care, attention, focus, intention with the work that they do.
I have no regrets whatsoever doing that.
I love this, what you say. This one rocked my world, I'm going to tell you. So here it is. You said that success without love feels bankrupt. Okay, drop the mic. Here it's my felt pen, but I just have to drop the mic on that one because that's the truth. I mean, I support women in business. That is my entire focus of my business. And I see so many women. I can tell by the look on their face if they're bankrupt. So they're bankrupt in their vitality. They're bankrupt in their energy. They've given themselves away to this leadership role that is absolutely an injustice. And they've lost themselves in this journey of performance rather than presence. So what does it mean to truly live the way of the heart in today's world?
I love everyone I meet. I can't help it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I love them all. Because when I look at someone who's not doing well, someone who might be on the street as a beggar, I go, there but for the grace of God goes I. If I'd been programmed the same way they'd been programmed, that would be me. And so I don't hold judgments against anyone, because when we hold judgments against people, we cut ourselves off from love.
We do. That's below the line.
I'm just open, and I love being open because I love
fun,
love.
Isn't it?
Yep.
It's fun. And, you know, I love life as this extraordinary mirror because it is beautiful, isn't it? It's this.
It is indeed. It is so beautiful. But then again, I'm looking at you, and to me, you are beautiful. And I love you to bits right now.
Thank you. Received, landed, accepted,
enthusiasm is
appreciated. Yes. You know, I've always loved life, but I lost myself along the way sometimes.
Yeah. So
I have her back. That's why I'm so passionate and purposeful about my way of supporting women to come back home to themselves, to their authentic identity. Our authentic identity is love. That's it. So we deserve to function from this place of grace.
Absolutely. I run groups. I'm in the middle of a group right now. I'm in the middle of a 4-day silent retreat, and I've got a lot of women here, and I empower them. If I can, if they're disempowered, I'll attempt to empower them, because that's what's needed in the world. Empowerment of women, not the putting down of women, but the empowerment of women. I agree totally.
Well, you're speaking my language, and I know that I came here in this lifetime to do exactly what I'm doing. I think you are too.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Every struggle I've been through, every heartache, every trauma, every impossible moment that I ever lived through was simply preparing me for where I am right now. That's it. Yep. So I intimately understand what pain feels like, what suffering is, and what struggle in not living an authentic, love-led life. I know what that, and I know what this is. And this is so good. So the audience, I want you to realize what we're saying is the truth here. And that you can let love lead you forward. All in. Love is the answer.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
My dream is that every person on the planet, this is a big dream, releases the concept of judgment on themselves or other people. Because love lives where judgment isn't. And that's
I went this way. Rather than seeing things as good or bad, right or wrong, I just started seeing things, this is just what is. And that took the judgment out of everything. Just what is. This is just what is. It's factual. It's just what is. Because when we go into the judgment of it, we take sides. And when we take sides, we cut ourselves off from love because we go into resistance.
We do. And that is self-judging. Does not judge.
Love begins with self, which begins with self-acceptance. You've got to accept yourself as you are. No matter what you find inside yourself, you've got to accept it. And then you can love yourself. While you're not accepting yourself, it's very difficult to love yourself.
Oh, it's impossible, I think. And Emma, who gave me this key, she gave me this beautiful postcard. I don't have it anymore, but I still can picture it. I carried that postcard around with me for decades. It was a little baby's face with their tongue sticking out like this. And on it, it said, "So what?" And she said, "Carolyn, what is." So that's the significance of the image in which I pictured in my mind when you said, because what is?
Yeah, what is it? That's it. What is no judgment. Just what is.
Yes.
And then we can live in a beautiful world. While we're full of judgments, the world becomes ugly.
Yeah, it does. And, for me, everything is vitality and energy. And I feel so incredibly grateful to be so enthusiastic, to have so much vitality in life from 4:30 in the morning to when I go to bed at 9:30 at night. It's this.
Yeah, I don't get up till 5 in the morning. You get up a half an hour earlier than me.
I'm younger than you.
But I don't go to bed until 12 o'clock.
Oh, no, I need my sleep. I love
night out.
So thank you for your presence. Thank you for your humility, your beautiful, gracious humility, and your consistent, unwavering devotion to love. And your way is being is really a transmission within itself. And I know you know that. And I want to invite the audience to connect with you. The information will be in the show notes. I want the audience to know that this, what we're discussing here and having a conversation purposely, fully, and passionately about is the truth. And I want to thank you for your courage, for sharing your journey with us and your wisdom and your lived truth, because that's what your life has been and continues to be. And I want to let the listeners know that you have a gift for them too, right? Do you want to tell us about this contribution that they can receive as a gift from the show notes here? Do you know what that is?
If you can find your hearts, you have found the greatest treasure on this planet. There is nothing greater than finding your own heart. So the gift is that information. Find your own heart. Don't deny it. Find it. Open up. Find what's inside of you. It is so beautiful to find your own heart. And then you just want to take care of everything and everyone. You just can't help yourself. It's just the way it is. That's how love's going to affect you, because that's how love affects everybody. Genuine love is the most beautiful, beautiful thing on this planet.
It is. And I want to end with this story. It's that my mom passed at 93 years old. And the last time I spent with her, we're writing a book about love and business. And she'd do research all week. And then I'd arrive at her home. I'd have to have a font this big because she couldn't see very good. And so I'd have my computer and I'd say, well, Mom, what are we focusing on today? And I said, what do you think about this? She goes, no, Carolyn, it's got to be this one. So the last time I spent with her, I sat on this love seat, looking in her eyes. She was explaining to me her whole life story. We didn't write in the book that time. I went every Sunday for 3 hours. That day we didn't. I didn't know that was the last time I was going to see her. And I looked into her eyes, and the only thing that I saw was love. The whole time. I just kept asking questions and kept listening. But I felt this profound resonance with this love she had for me and the love I had for her. And that was the last time I spent with her. And I'm so incredibly grateful that I showed up with that energy and she matched it back to me. I mean, it was just a beautiful, beautiful experience for both of us. Not that she had a hard time talking about love, my mom. So I know.
I like to do that with strangers, like people I've just met. I just love them so much. Yeah. And it just makes such a difference, It
does. In a restaurant, at the dentist. I was just at the dentist this week and, I just appreciate them. And in business, business people who are listening, listen up. Appreciate your clients, appreciate your suppliers, appreciate this incredible opportunity and share how much you are grateful to them.
Yeah. Because gratitude supports love. Gratitude supports love.
Yes, it does. So that's the next step for you. So I want to say thank you to the listeners. And once again, I'll remind you that you have this opportunity to receive my 21-day above the line living, which is a 2-minute recording that you'll land in your email box, reflections and journal prompts. So you can really gently walk through this doorway of purpose, surrender, inner stillness, and love, because that's the voice that is wanting to be heard inside yourself. It's what Vishrant said. We just need to be open and listen to that guidance and that leadership. So, Vishrant, your gift is a free guided meditation, and that'll be in the notes as well. So I want to leave the audience with a question, which I always do. And so, where might life be inviting you to stop resisting and start loving more fully right now? So that's your question to the audience to answer. Thank you, Vishrant, for hanging with me today on the Love Inspired Leadership Podcast. Boom! I loved every second. And for the audience, I look forward to having you return back to the Love Inspired Leadership. And thanks again for being here with both of us. Take good care.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me on the Love Inspired Leadership Podcast. If today's episode stirred something in your soul, share it with someone who's ready to aim higher. Keep holding your vision, anchor in your truth, and take intentional, inspired action, because love is all there is.
Hey, I'm Michelle Abraham, founder of the High Vibe Podcast Network, and we are honored to have Carolyn Cooper's Love Inspired Leadership show as part of our network family. For more inspiring shows like this one, visit highvibepodcastnetwork.com, and don't forget to grab your free gifts from our hosts in the gift fold. Till then, stay high vibe and keep sharing your life.